It still hasn't given me the go live button on that yet, but it's thinking. There it is, go live.
Are we live? I'm waiting to see it on my end.
It says you're live.
I think I have a slight delay.
Excellent.
It's loading now. All right, it's loaded. You can fix the cameras if you want.
All right.
So we're live. Special thanks to K-Bar, to everybody here in the studio. We are screwing around with new equipment, having a good time. And I want to take, he says, don't forget to mute all audio sources from the cameras in the Sling Studio app and only use the line in channel. You got that?
Yeah,
He's
gotta go
got
back
that.
in there.
So anyway, I want to say hi to everybody. We're gonna go on a little rant today. I got something special, in store for everybody. So today's kind of a interesting episode. We're doing some testing, some equipment testing. We're screwing around with some stuff. I got my man Q in the studio. He's just gonna be backing me up a little bit. You got an echo? Is there any more echo? There shouldn't be any more echo.
No, I don't got an echo.
No, we're good.
Derek got an echo?
No, I'm American Merit, one of the listeners is saying we got an echo. But Merit, that should be gone. Let me know if the echo is gone. We should be good. We should be good to go. So I'm going to go on a rant a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about the death of the NRA. So NRA has been a hot topic with everybody lately. This is going to be a little, I don't know, this may rub people the wrong way. Echo's gone. We're good. This may make people feel a certain way, but this is going to be important. I think we have to hit this topic. So what's up, Jane? So I think we have to hit this topic a little bit. So a lot of people are talking about the NRA, and ever since Oliver North left and some of the people have kind of exited stage left on the NRA, and now just recently we had Chris Cox walk away from the NRA. Now, with that being said, I want to touch on a couple things about the NRA. Everybody's always looking for a big punchline about the NRA or a big bullet point. The NRA shouldn't define the gun industry as a whole. And the NRA shouldn't define gun owners as a whole. Yes, the NRA is our largest lobbying body. It is our largest conduit to the ear of the government, to marketing, and to forwarding the progress of this thing that we have here, this thing of ours that I like to call. But the NRA shouldn't define us. Now, with that being said, I'm not sitting here giving a flowery NRA speech. There's absolutely no doubt in my mind that the NRA has lost their way. What's up, D. Mitchell? The NRA has lost their way. Derek, try to check it on YouTube. Let me know what you see. There's no doubt about that. It is ridiculous. It is inflammatory. It is insane that the NRA would continue down the path that they've continued down. It's almost as if they think that most of the gun owners are stupid or can't see through it. Or most of the firearms owners or collectors or people in that ilk can't see through the bullshit. The whole charade that's gone on, whether it's via Wayne, the board, the manipulating, it's ridiculous. There's no doubt about that. There's zero doubts. I think everybody thinks it. I think people are starting to say it. It's important that it has to be said, and it has to be said by not only influencers but leaders in the community. I'm one of those people that has a microphone in front of them. I don't necessarily fancy myself a quote-unquote leader, but I like to think that they can do better, and I think that they should. So I think they can. What's up, Derek? Hopefully you guys agree, disagree, comment away. Let me know what you think. This is an important topic I want to touch on. There's a lot of things going on with the NRA. The fact that Wayne LaPierre needs $250,000 a year for suits or for drapes or for curtains or for anything that doesn't push the agenda forward with his $1.2 million salary is insane. I don't know much, but Wayne LaPierre makes more money than me. He makes more money than Q. He makes more money than all of us in here, probably in this whole department, and what we spend. I'd say he's grossly compensated. Sorry. Get excited. But as ridiculous as it is, they still trudge forward. And they pulled a charade at the last NRA show to reaffirm him. I said it. I know other people have come out and said it. This isn't news. This isn't anything exciting. This isn't anything new. Chris Cox's recent resignation, the whole turning over of positions, it just needs to be done. And what they have to stop doing is they're kind of dying a slow death through paper cuts. And this whole deal where there was a coup attempt and you saw the clip come by, we had the resignation of Oliver North. We've had different things go on. The madness needs to stop. When you can't even walk your own show, okay? When you're the president, CEO, whatever you are, and you can't walk your own show, that's a problem. Jane says, do I think the NRA will die down then maybe or become more political? It can't get more political, Jane. I don't think it'll die down. People believe that the NRA will right the ship. The problem is they're like dying a death of 1,000 paper cuts. It's like the sinking of Titanic, but instead of hitting an iceberg, it's getting shot with 9mm. And what needs to stop is the madness just needs to stop, and they just need to say, you know what? We're going to make a sweeping change. We need to make a sweeping change here. I think the faces need to change. I think they've needed to change for a long time. They can't keep putting the same faces out there. Whoever the advertising firm was, Ackerman, I think it's needed to change for a long time. I think fresh ideas need to come in, fresh people, fresh faces, fresh voices, something for the 2020 crowd. It's 2020, people. It's time to freshen it up. Okay? I think people like my friend Crispy 11B would be awesome to come in. I think people like my friend Donald Trump Jr. would be excellent to come in and take over. But make no mistake, I'm going to say what everybody's thinking. Every manufacturer, every gun owner, every major firm out there, somebody has to go through that place with a flamethrower. With a flamethrower. Don't launch 2 flashbangs. Throw 2 grenades. Start over. Sweeping changes. Okay? I'm not picking on the board. I'm not going to pick on the board, even though the board has no teeth. They've proven that. And now you have Rob Pincus going through that whole charade of leaked information and all this. It's insane. It's insane. And you Google NRA, and no longer do you see, cool gun organization that protects rights. You see every news article. Pull up the last news. Click news on Google under NRA. You're going to see all this scandalous stuff. At what point does someone come in and say, this is ridiculous? Let me read the top. Let's read the top 5, Q. New gun rights campaign seeks to reform scandal-plagued NRA. NRA shuts down NRA TV and its chief lobbyist resigned at the same time. Biden gun manufacturers, NRA not the enemy. Okay, we'll take that. The collapse of the NRA's marketing outrage scam. NRA group to hold down town hall in Virginia Beach. Turmoil in the NRA claims its PR firm, its top lobbyist, and blah, blah, blah. That's the coup. And the cold, dead hand of the NRA. It's dying, people. It's dying. It's dead. It's dead. So I'm saying what everybody's already thinking. I'm saying what's already out there. So it needs to stop. It needs to stop. Some good questions coming in. American Merit says, getting rich on working man's dollar by supposedly protecting Second Amendment rights. American Merit, I think there's hope for that. I do think, in spite of everything, Chris Cox did do a good job, and if he was a part of that coup, bravo to Chris Cox. He was trying to do the right thing. Poor execution, but probably trying to do the right thing. I think starting a new organization from social media would be the way to go, Daryl says. That's not a bad idea. And I believe, what is it, gun policy is one of them? I believe it's gun policy. I'm not sure. I'd have to ask around. I know some of you guys are better on it than I am. I believe there are other organizations. But make no mistake, we're witnessing what could be the death of the NRA. It's lost its teeth. It's lost its punch. There's no question it's lost its way. Its message of fear and donate money, fear, 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 will save you, hasn't worked. Ackerman has failed as a marketing group, and they failed everybody. And the fact that there's still the willingness of these people to get behind the organization. I mean, this isn't news. I'm the last one to the party with this. Hickok 45 already walked away from the NRA. I mean, this is, I'm the last person to the party. So, yes, I think another organization backed by influencers and backed by people would be the way to go. You got to find one. You got to find one you trust. You got to find someone you can get behind. But I don't want to give money so you can go buy suits. I mean, I don't think Q wants to give money to go buy suits. But, it's got to stop somewhere. So when you Google an organization and you have that much bullshit following you around, something's got to change, okay? And there has to come top-down change. We're all big supporters of gun rights. We're big supporters of the cause. We're big supporters of everything that goes into that. But something has to give. Something. On some level. Somewhere. I don't claim to have all the answers. But something's got to give. So I just think we're at a turning point. We're at a tipping point where it's something's got to give. What the answer is, where it goes from here, I don't know. But I think sweeping change is in order. I have no idea.
Hey, John, how you think this will affect the next election?
It's a good question, Q. How will it affect the next election? Now, here's the thing. Biden's already come out in the Democratic debate and said, the NRA is not the enemy. Well, of course it's not the enemy. It has no teeth. What the Democrats are going to start to do is they're going to start to go after some of these laws that are wrapped up in other laws. Like they're going at, they found out that going after modifications on the rifle wasn't the way to go. So the next step was they go after red flags. So they go into loopholes, Q. They go into these loopholes where they're like, we can come in your house whenever we want and take your guns. If somebody says, hey, that guy doesn't look too good, his trash cans look messy outside his house, he's a worry. We need to deal with it. So they've pretty much given carte blanche to law enforcement. Now they know, they're not stupid. They know, it's going to take a generational shift in law enforcement for them to want to act on that, because law enforcement has ingrained in their head that they're not going in a house without a warrant, without some type of action because of liability. They're not going to do that. But what they're going to do is they're going to start to be able to get warrants. So you have all these Democrats, you got Booker, you got Warren, you got all these people coming out, and you could see an image of them, but you got all these people coming out, and they're getting smart. They're getting smart. And they're attacking different laws and restructuring different laws to suit their needs. And they're going to continue to do that. That's going to be something that Elizabeth Warren is absolutely batshit crazy, despite the fact that she thinks she's an American Indian. That's comical into itself. That's a story for another day.
Don't question her heritage.
Oh,
John.
seriously. But, this is the thing. If this was anywhere else, they would, they get away with murder. I mean, Hillary Clinton was able to melt hard drives. Ridiculous. But the point of the story is, where does it go from here? How does it affect the election? I think the Democrats have smartened up enough that they know they lose too many votes battling it on that pedestal. So Biden's taking a different tone politically. He's saying it's not the NRA. So what does that do? It endears some potential NRA members because the NRA is in such dysfunction that now it can become a political ping pong ball where he can be like, it's not the NRA. We've done it, it's a and it gets sympathetic at that point. Now, I don't think anybody's dumb enough to elect someone who's going to try to take your rights away, lock, stock, and no pun intended, Joe Biden, two smoking barrels. I mean, he's going to creep up behind you and take all your rights. But here's the deal, guys. You have to pay attention. Some of this stuff needs to change. So where do they stand on gun control? So where do 2020 Democrats stand on gun control? You have Biden, Kamala Harris, whatever, Booker. You got all these guys jockeying for position. And they're trying to find a way to get some of these votes. You just had that up, Q. Try to throw that back up. That was good. You have all these guys, jockeying for votes. And if you scroll down a little, this is a good article. It's where they stand on gun control. You can see that they're starting to change their tune. We're for guns, but we want stricter background checks. We want to close loopholes. We're all for. The tone is changing a little bit. I mean, they have shit in there like no grenade launcher attachments. I mean, who the fuck wants, nobody, so I think they're going to start to attack us where it hurts. They're going to use that loophole of stricter background checks, and we want to make sure it's safe. And you're right, there's a mental health crisis. So they're pivoting on a lot of their feelings, and they're going in that direction.
Don't forget about those smart guns that Joe Biden with the
biometric. He wants the the Judge Dredd gun, which I'm all for the Judge Dredd gun, by the way, the lawgiver, minus the biometrics. So here's the thing, guys. You got to sift through the bullshit. It's just like with the NRA. You got to sift through it. You have to sift through it and find the silver lining. The silver lining in most jobs is we get a paycheck. Right? You sit there and you say, oh, geez, I really don't want to take the trash out today, but I'm getting paid to do it. You have to find the silver lining in some of it. And the silver lining is, I believe, that more so now than ever, change is coming. It's coming. I believe that it is. I believe in my heart that it is. I believe change is on its way. Jane says, things get so batshit crazy, people lose themselves in political ways where it could have been dealt with so differently. But that's the world for you these days. Nothing what it used to be. It's true. Background checks on ammo in California. Yeah, Merritt, that's a good point. They're going to start going after ammo. California will be way ahead of it. California is a precursor, kind of like Massachusetts was for healthcare. We were the first universal healthcare state. We were the pilot program for the rest of the country. Look at stuff like that. It's stuff like that. So here's the deal, guys. Again, can't say it enough. Pay attention. Pay attention. Watch what happens. Watch what people do. Watch what people don't do. And see how the conversation shifts. And I think you're going to continue to see it shift politically. I think you're going to continue to see it shift to a place where the NRA is not the enemy. The NRA has done you wrong. We want to put a package together that protects you from mentally disabled people that want to get guns. And we need to really close those. And we're going to close those with red flag laws. And if you see someone that's a risk, see, that's where it becomes a slippery slope on the other side. You can't, as a gun owner, we all know this. You almost can't even have a disagreement with somebody because that's the excuse everyone gravitates towards. They have guns, and we have to take them. I can't say enough, guys, statistically. Violent crimes with guns, there's not that many of them. There's not that many. Mass shootings, there's just not that many. Comparable to other things, There's just not that many. Period. Period. More people die from alcohol. More people die from smoking. Most of the gun crimes are murder-suicides. Most of the time. By and large, okay? Your incidents, okay, and I'm looking at the FBI report, okay? Your incidents, firearms-related incidents, firearms victims, okay, by and large, are way, way down. Way down. They're way down. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know at what point common sense gets put into this. Okay? I don't know. I don't have the answer. According to a website I'm on, which is the National Institute of Justice, okay, njj.gov. I just Googled violent crimes involving firearms. We have, in 1993, 1,200,000 firearms incidents. 2011, 414,000. Way down. Way down. Steady decrease. Little blips here and there, but steady decrease. Go around. Common sense, guys. Look at Chicago. Look at Detroit. Look at some of these states that have put in some of the strictest gun packages in the country. I get it. I'll defend, California. It's a big state. The numbers are going to be skewed a little. But I'm telling you, those are some of the worst states. And now the people that do have permits in some of those bad states and are defending themselves, it's making national news. National news. Most of these things, people look at them with rose-colored glasses, and they look at them through a screwy lens. So Booker's coming out with, Q just pulled up something interesting. Booker's coming out with, Booker, U.S. should require a license to own a firearm. It's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. If you need a license to drive a car, you should have a license to own a firearm. I'd be all for that. Don't think it's a bad stance. You want to know why I'd be all for that? I'd be all for that if Booker came out and said, you go out and Q, I know you'd be for this. You get a license, you have national reciprocity. You can go anywhere with it.
Definitely with that.
Yeah.
Definitely.
That's the trade, okay? Is that a trade we're willing to make? I got no problem with it. As long as it pertains to pistols and non-hunting, say it's a non-hunting gun. The Second Amendment should protect you as a blanket. You should be able to own guns under the Second Amendment. But I would call it a concealed carry permit. That would be my thing, Q. Issue a license nationally, that's a concealed carry permit. And get rid of all this state-to-state bullshit.
Yeah, I'm with you, John. It's got to be something on the other end to give back, like you said, national reciprocity. Because otherwise, you're going against the amendment. You don't need a right to drive. That's a privilege. You're granted the privilege to drive. It's a right to bear arms. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And look, most states cover you under that right, whether it be for long guns, things like that. You're covered. It is what it is. But we're going to have to trade to get that. It's going to be a horse trade. And what are you willing to trade? That's my thing. So I'm all for it. So I wanted to take a few minutes to rant with you guys and kind of go off on this. I thought this made some sense. I think it makes some sense to kind of peel into this, and for people have asked me kind of where my head was at, what I thought. People have been asking me. I'm not ducking the topic. I just wasn't ready to get into it, and I haven't had time to look at it. So my big thing is this. Pay attention. Watch what the politicians do. Watch the shift in thinking. Watch where it all goes. And watch the candidates. I guarantee you, I'd bet every dollar I got that they're going to shift their thinking over to, the NRA is not the enemy. It's mental health. You guys are right. We need to make a mental health, package, and we need to protect people. And they're going to get sympathetic people. They're going to get sympathetic people, so we have to be careful. Got to be careful, because pretty soon those rights, what they do is they get closer and closer. And then we have these things like red flag laws. And before you know it, they're kicking in Q's door and they're saying, give me what you have because you looked at Susie down the street funny.
Not Susie.
Susie. So that's where it's at. That's where it's at. Got to be careful because it could spiral out of control. It could spiral out of control if you're not careful. So I hope everybody understands where I'm coming from. I'm not saying anything new. A couple questions coming in. I have a meeting coming up with a Democratic group about guns. I told them it has to be discussion and not an attack. Yeah, Darryl, it's worth a try. I don't know where you live. Some people, they get very passionate about it. It's crazy, really. True. Got to go for a bit quick. Well done, John. Great topic and realness. Awesome, Jane. I appreciate you. Good luck trying to take them. Have you seen the young liberal generation scared of bugs? Merritt, that's true. I think every new generation scares the previous one. I think if I had kids, they'd scare me. I'm sure Q's kids scare him. We all get scared of the of the younger generation. I mean, I think my grandparents looked at me like I was crazy when I had a cell phone. Here's the thing. It's kind of always that way, but we always want what's best. Here's the win in all this. Here's the silver lining. Trump wins again. We get another, Ginsburg retires eventually or moves on. See, the mistake, Ginsburg got greedy. I'm going to tell you guys right now, this is going to be the truest thing you're going to hear on this episode. Ginsburg got greedy. She should have retired when Obama was in office. Had she retired, they would have been able to replace her. That was a selfish, greedy move on her part. She's 100. God bless her soul. God love her. Sitting justice, revolutionary, the whole nine. But had she stepped down gracefully, Obama would have been able to replace her. She's not going to make another 4 years. There's zero chance. None. So in the next 2 to 3, he's going to get an opportunity to replace her. Okay? Because at some point, the mental health police are going to come in and take her out of there. So at some point, she's going to be replaceable. So she gets replaced, and we get another Republican, gun-friendly justice in there. Now you're at better numbers. Okay? Now you got 6 on your side. It starts to swing too far. So it'll be very difficult to crowbar legislation through that alters the Bill of Rights. Now, they'll tweak and they'll mess. Merritt makes a good point. You get a license when you're born. It's called a Social Security card. What I'm talking about, Merritt, is concealed carry. So make no mistake. So before the Threepers come out after me, and I love the Threepers, love you guys, but before the Threepers come after me, what I'm saying is concealed carry. That's a battle we've been trying to win for a long time, is the concealed carry battle. If Booker was willing to say, yeah, you get a license and you can conceal carry anywhere, let his own stupidity on the topic guide us. Okay? Just like people always like to say, oh, we lost a big one with bump stocks. We didn't lose a big one. Have you seen anyone buy a 16-inch rifle at all? No. Everything's a pistol now. Hello? We've won some battles too, and people forget that. We've won some battles too. Okay? I don't like to give an inch, but if we were to make that trade, I think people would go for it. If Booker was willing to come out and say, yeah, it's a concealed carry permit, guys. You get a national concealed carry permit. All you have to do is take like a driving test. You go take a class, you show proficiency, blah, blah, blah. That's an easy win. Take it. It's like cable locks. It's an easy win. Oh, we have to put a cable lock with the gun. We're going to make the world a better place. Cool. Make no mistake, guys. Make no mistake. They're coming for them. I got a question on Instagram. I missed a few of them. Sorry, guys. I contest my unalienable rights are not given up, or not even up for debate. I agree, pro-knife thrower. They're not up for debate. But it's not an unalienable right to have a concealed carry permit. That's the loophole that they found years ago. You can own a gun, but you're not guaranteed a concealed carry permit. Any law or punishment in the Constitution is null and void. Still the law of the land. Yes. I agree. But I'm trying to find us the win here. National reciprocity pro-knife thrower is the win. Because what happens is each state interprets the law how they see fit. And you can quote Supreme Court all day. You're right. Amen. I'm with it. So, lots going on. Lots happening. I'm going to sign off on IG because my phone's going to die. So I'm signing off there. But here's the deal. I'm going to wrap on this. The NRA has definitely lost its way. It needs a refocus. It needs a shift. It needs a face people can count on. It needs somebody to get behind it that people can trust. It needs all those things. It needs somebody in there that can protect our rights. It needs someone in there that can guide the process. And it needs people in there. It needs fresh faces. Whoever the marketing firm is that takes over the NRA, get some fresh bodies in there. Get a fresh message. Get some people to the table that can have a conversation. NRA TV is gone. Chris Cox is gone. Okay? Pretty soon, you're going to lose more. You've lost everybody's confidence. The board has lost confidence. You're missing an opportunity to work with one of the best Republican presidents and support systems we've had in a long time. And people can say what they want to say about Trump and about some things he said. He's a supporter. But you got to give him something to get behind. You got to give him something as a lobby. You got to give him a chance. You're not giving him anything to get behind. So you have to feed that meter, guys. Remember to check out kvar.com. Head over to Kvar. I don't know, Q, if you could pull up Kvar. Pull it up. Make sure you check out the website. Make a purchase. Say hello. Working on getting you guys a code. Get you guys something. But I hope everybody had a good time watching the show. If you have questions, leave them in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe and share. I appreciate all you guys. There's Kvar right there. Make sure you check out the website. Head over. If you're looking for anything, check out the subsonic ammunition. It's pretty badass. If you're shooting a 7.62 x 39, we get everything on there. Anything you can think of. If you want to build a badass AK, check it out. A lot of fun. I hope you guys have a great week. I know it's Monday, and I'm a little fired up. I had my rant. But I'm hoping everybody has a great week. And if anybody has any questions, comments, concerns, don't hesitate to say them below. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I am going to sign out. Kill the feed, Q.